Hello and welcome everyone. In today's lecture, let's talk about functional foremanship. We are currently in Taylor's scientific management. In the previous class, we saw Taylor's scientific principles. In today's class and in the next classes, we will see Taylor's scientific techniques. On that, first thing is functional foremanship. Okay, to understand functional foremanship, we need to first understand the concept of division of work. Tomorrow, when you grow up and get into a job environment, you will be hearing this term a lot, division of work. So, in the modern day workplace management, the employers prioritize this first, which is the division of work. What does it say? It says that don't entrust more than 2 to 3 roles to a single person. Divide the work so that one role or one activity will be done by only one person. So you can see this in restaurant, right? The waiter is a different person, the receptionist is a different person, and the person who gives you the bill and collects the cash will be a different person. So this is division of work. Taylor wanted to do this inside factory. He wanted to bring the concept of division of work inside the factory floor itself. So he thought the person who can run the factory at the most efficient and effective manner is called foreman. Means he is before everybody. So he is like the front runner in a factory. And to be able to run a factory in a very, very effective manner, Taylor believed that foreman should have 8 qualities, or he should be able to do 8 functions. But because of this concept of division of work, Taylor could not entrust one person to perform all these 8 functions. So he decided that there should be 8 key people inside a factory, inside every factory, to perform these 8 key functions. Now let us see what are all those 8 key functions. They will be further classified into 4 key activities of one group and 4 key activities of another group. The first group is responsible for the planning aspect, and the second group is responsible for the execution aspect or the production aspect. So under the planning aspect, there are 4 key roles that are there. Let us see what are they one by one. Instruction card clerk, route clerk, time and cost clerk, and then disciplinarian. Please understand, all these 4 people will not directly involved in the production process. They are involved in the process, but they take care of planning. Their core emphasis, their core focus is on the planning aspect. They will not directly get into the execution aspect. So you need to understand that first. So what is this instruction card clerk does this? He drafts the instructions for workers. There will be lots of low-level workers inside a factory. Those people will be waiting for the instructions because every day the production plan might differ. Someday, let's say it's a food processing company, someday they will decide to make vanilla milkshake, someday they will decide to make strawberry milkshake. So every morning the worker has to know today what are we going to produce and today and what are the key instructions that they should keep in mind. So that's the job of the instruction card clerk. The second person is route clerk. He specifies the route of production. Here the concept of route is where should the raw material go first, what process should be done first, then what should happen, and finally where it should end. Okay, let's say you are making milkshakes. So the first step is to prepare the milk, clean the milk first, to heat it well and then kill the bacteria and everything, and then cool down the milkshake and then add all the ingredients, flavors and everything. So prepare the milk first, and then they will send it to the packing area, and there it will be packed, and finally it will be sent to the finished goods storage area. So this is the route. So the route clerk will tell, okay, today the first thing it should go to the heating chamber. Milk should be routed to the heating chamber. So this is exactly how the route clerk's job is. The next person is time and cost clerk. So this person is responsible for following the entire production process, and he has to note down exactly what amount of time has taken in that particular aspect, in that particular process, and how much also the cost has taken. That is his or her responsibility, the time and cost clerk's responsibility. To give you an example, this we talked about in the yesterday's class itself. Let's say a carpenter, he's in the process of turning raw wood into a processed furniture, a fully finished furniture. At each and every stage, how much is the time that is going to take, he will note down, he has to note down. So let's say, how long does it take to select the wood first, and then how long does it take to season the wood, make it conditioned, then they will cut the wood and then fine tune the edges, and then they will fit the cut pieces into a chair, and then they will stick it with the gum. So along with the each and every stage of the production, the time and cost clerk's job is to note down how long is it taking, and thereby they will have the data later on. Okay, are we doing it fast enough or not? You should also not do too fast, because the quality will be compromised. At the same time, you should not focus too much on quality and lose on speed. Both should be maintained. So that's the job of time and cost clerk. And the last person in the planning department is disciplinarian. So this is exactly how it sounds. This guy's job is to be a moral supervisor who will go on rounds inside the factory, and he will make sure that the workers are actually doing the work and they are not slacking off, doing chit chat or taking unnecessarily long breaks, or doing the work in a very, very slow or inefficient manner. All these things will come under his responsibility. So those are the 4 people under planning department. Now we will see the 4 people under production department. So the first person here is speed boss. The speed boss is the supervisor who will work similar to the time and cost clerk and disciplinarian, because he is also responsible for timely and accurate completion of job. So both job has to be done quickly, as well as it also should be completed within the time. So now you can see the similarity between the roles of disciplinarian and speed boss, also the role of cost clerk. See, time and cost clerk will not impose on people. He will just simply note down, like a scorer in a cricket match. He will just simply note down things. So that's what time and cost clerk will do. He will note down things, and at the end of the day, he will pass on the data to his superiors. But speed boss and disciplinarian, their roles kind of overlap each other. Now let's talk about what is a gang boss. Now the name sounds little, little rowdy, but let's see what the gang boss is responsible for. He is responsible for keeping the tools and machines ready. So every morning, the role of gang boss, or not just every morning, before every shift, the role of the gang boss is to make sure that the machines are ready for production. To give you an example, imagine your favorite podcast. Now, what are all there will be in a podcast? There will be a proper seating place, and the background has to be good, the lighting has to be good, and the mic audio sound quality has to be good. Do you think the person who is conducting the podcast will do all these things? No. The person who is hosting the podcast and also the person who comes as a guest, they will not do all these type of work. To set up the podcast before the conversation begins will be the responsibility of a cameraman and the sound engineers. They will first prepare the studio, set up the studio, keep the mic properly, set up the camera properly, and they have to test whether the light is coming correctly or not. All these things they will test long before the conversation begins. They'll make sure that the studio is good for recording. They will give green signal, and then only the podcast will begin. So that's exactly how the gang boss also work, because you should not be depending on the workers to set up their machines. The job of the workers is to just operate the machine and get the output. Setting up the machine, preparing up the workplace should be done by the gang boss. So again, division of work. Repair boss. So gang boss is the person who does the job before the commencement of every shift, but repair boss is the person who should be on standby in case of emergencies. Let's say there is a machine, there is an assembly line running, and a particular worker has inserted a spanner in a way he is not supposed to. So the spanner got stuck in the chain of the machine, and the whole production machine has stopped. So it is not giving you any output. So immediately this repair boss will come. He will see immediately spot where the trouble is. He will alert all the workers. He will probably halt the entire production for a couple of minutes. He will immediately pull out the spanner, get the machine ready for the subsequent operation, and the production will resume after that. So that is the repair boss, basically a mechanic. And then the last person in production is the inspector. The inspector is responsible for ensuring the quality of the output that is coming out of the factory. For example, I have gone to audits in a lot of different types of factories. One of them is they make potato chips. So in that factory, there will be a person who is sitting on the output side of the production line. His very job is to pick up each piece of potato, almost, let's say, at one batch, let's say there are some 10,000, 15,000 chips that are coming at every minute. He will pick like 50, 60 chips, individual piece. He will see them, he will break them to see if they have been fried properly or not. And then some he will also eat. So his main job is to just stand there and eat chips all day. So that's pretty much the quality inspector's work in a food factory will be. Because they will have to immediately give the feedback in case, let's say, one set of 10,000, 15,000 chips have come and all of them have been too much fried beyond quality specification. Then the inspector will immediately stop the production line, and so that they will immediately rectify or maybe they lower down the temperature of the oil or change some other variable so that they will ensure whatever the chips that are subsequently coming don't get deep fried. So that's exactly the person who is inspector does the work. He does quality check. So all put together, these 8 people will directly control every other workman in the factory. So I hope you understood the concept of functional foremanship. In the next class, we will talk about standardization and simplification. Thank you.